Hey guys. I feel like my voice has gotten lower, which is pretty cool. That's a good thing. I feel good about it. Yeah, I'm liking it. So it's Monday. I'm just now getting back into my normal life again after being away in Virginia, D.C. area for the LDS 31 and up singles conference, Capital Connections, this weekend. It was so amazing, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy about it, and the light of Christ goes really, really far, and nothing will stop it. For you guys who are members of the church, you might know who Sister Yi is. She is such an amazing woman and wonderful leader and awesome light of God. She was there at the conference and she spoke twice. We got to listen to her, and it's so real, and God is so real. And one of the things she said, there was like a really powerful moment in her talk. Like all of her talks were like so powerful. But like one of the things that she said, and she has, like, if you know her, you kind of know how she talks. She just kind of says it very kind of slowly, but like matter-of-factly and calmly, but strongly, and it's true. And the way she said it was just so powerful, and it's absolutely true what I'm about to tell you. But she said nothing will stop the light of Christ. Nothing. And I was like, oh my gosh, yes. It was just one of those moments where you could feel the Spirit so strong. And it was wonderful. So the conference was so amazing. The whole time was just so it was so great. You know, there was a lot going on, so you kind of had to kind of figure things out and stuff. It keeps you on your toes. It kept me on my toes, and that's actually a great thing. And that helps us. That's good for us. Things that keep us on our toes are good for us, because they help us be ready for anything, for the things that we need to be ready for, all those things, you know. And so yeah, that part's really cool. But I can't even begin to. There's just so many great things. Like Friday night was so awesome. Getting there, we rode a boat. We met at the National Harbor in DC or Georgetown area, and they had a boat taxi that took us out and took us on a tour of like the Potomac River, and like showed us things around us and things like that. And that was really cool. And we got rained on, and we got a chance to talk to people on the boat. I got a chance to talk to some different ladies, some different girls, and had a really great experience, all in all. And it was a definite learning experience through the weekend, because I kind of had a crush. On somebody, but then it changed. And it changed. But the person I ended up talking to at the end, and the person who I am interested in, that was the first question she asked me. She was like, "Who's your conference crush?" And I was like, I don't know. I kind of wanted to say her in a way, but I was like, it was not quite time to say that or something like that. But I was just like, I didn't really have an answer. I was like, I don't really know. I got people that might be crushes, but kind of. And she's like, well, it's not that serious, you know. It's not like you have a crush on them, so you're gonna marry them, you know. And I was like, yeah, you're right. But it was so much fun talking to her. Her name is Barbara. That's a protect the innocent name for her. I'm gonna protect her. So anyway, Susie, one of the speakers on Sunday was so funny. He was telling about his experience, and like he did the same thing in his talk. He was like talking about a girl that he was interested in, his heart was throbbing for, and he renamed her. And then like later when he referred to her again, he referred to her as a different name. It was just really funny. But yeah, I had a really great time. Saturday was really, really good. That was like the busy day. That was like Saturday was like the meat of the meeting, of the weekend, because like there were all these workshops and dances, dance classes, I should say, dance classes, and sports tournaments, pickleball, multiple speakers, great speakers, and it was located in the church building, which is actually a singles ward, which is really cool, really aptly assembled there. And so it was just a really great day, and I met some really cool people, and I just kind of tried to get off of the planned course and more into the go with the flow a little bit more course, so I could just like, not have to worry about things too much and enjoy things a little bit more. And so that's what I did, and I'm so glad I did that. And I played it by ear more. When I started playing it by ear more, that's when it started becoming more enjoyable and more fun and less stressful, for sure. But aka follow the spirit, right? Yeah. Let's see. So I did end up going to pickleball, and I played with a really awesome girl, and it's very interesting how it all works. I don't want to get into too many. I don't want to put my foot in my mouth, so I'm not gonna say too much here. But I'm gonna try not to say too much. But basically, this girl was amazing. She was wife material. Solid wife material. Solid live your life, be your eternal companion material. And I don't say that lightly. It was really powerful. Really powerful. But there were a few things about her that made it so it wasn't right for me. And and the cool thing is God isn't like, well, I gave you this person here and you didn't take her, therefore you won't have an eternal companion, therefore you're going to suffer now. He knows, he respects our agency, he respects our choices, he knows that we have preferences and things like that. And at the same time, it's very important to be careful about our preferences, because we don't want to get too set in our ways, we don't want to get too stuck in what we want and what we're looking for, to where we can't have anything, or to where we're turning down everything, right? But I knew I had some time to think about it with her, and I did spend some time with her during the conference, and she sat next to me in two of the talks. I sat next to her in church on Sunday, and I sat next to her in Sister Yee's talk on Saturday, and we played pickleball together, and I gave her a ride back to where she was staying and things like that. And she was just so kind and nice and fun and awesome. And again, wife material. But you got to be careful, because like my good friend Barbara pointed out, it's you can't be that serious. You can't be too serious. You know what I mean? Like you gotta be a little loosey goosey, or a little you gotta be a little can't really take it that serious. Like it's okay to have likes, it's okay to have crushes and things like that. Doesn't mean that you have to put like this big emphasis for marriage on it, like to the max. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to be like, it's you gotta be a little bit, you gotta chill, basically. You gotta chill. You can't be all, only thinking about marriage and you just met this person. You gotta be realistic. That's the point. And but I had such a great time with Barbara, afterwards. I saw her on Friday and I said hi to her, and like the conference had, we set up a Marco Polo group, which is a really cool app where you just like make a video of yourself, add it to the pool, and see what everyone else is saying, and it's like sequential short videos from people responding to each other and saying hi and stuff like that, chiming in. It was really cool app. And so I met Barbara on there, and then I saw her in real life on Friday, and I said hi to her, and she was kind of like surprised, and it was really cool. It was really cool, actually. And at the time, like, I had just gotten to the conference, so I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, eyes wide open, like, what's going on here? Like, I gotta keep my eyes open, you know, because you never know who you're gonna meet, right? And come to find out that she was the one that I wished that I had spent a little bit more time with. But it all worked out perfectly anyway. I ended up getting her number because I talked to her. I got a few numbers, and just because you get a number or because you ask for a number doesn't mean that you're like interested in pursuing that person. Sometimes it's just good to just have their number and stay in touch, like whether it's friends or whether it's for I have this picture I need to send you or whatever, you know, that we took at the conference or something like that, or you know. But I did get a. I'm not bragging like I'm like a baller. Like I got a couple numbers, but and I got in touch with a couple people, and I messaged a few people, and it was nice. People messaged me, and I messaged them, and it was just really nice. It was really nice, and some really unexpected, cool things happened, which I was really surprised about, and. So I don't know. I really like Barbara. I really like her, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't know how things are gonna go. You know, we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun on Sunday. We started hanging out a lot like last night, and at the end of the conference, like last bit of the conference. We just had a great time. It was fun. It was just like perfect, you know, just right. And so I'm trying to think here. Yeah, it was just a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. And we got to sit and talk, and we ate together, and I asked her out at the conference a little bit, because I was like, do you want to come do this with me? Do you want to come to this talk with me? Come on, let's do this, you know. Or, you know, you want to come eat dinner with me? You want to go get our drinks and eat and stuff? And she was like, I took her water bottle because she needed help carrying stuff, and then I was like, you know, I've got this water bottle now, so if you ever want to see it back, she's like filled in the blank. She's like, I have to follow you, right? And I was like, yeah. She's like, that's kind of like manipulative. And it was just funny. We just had we had jokes and stuff and laughs, and it was great. So anyway, I got her number. I'm super glad. And she doesn't live that close, but she doesn't live that far. It's not that far. Like, I met one person who I really liked, and I did feel like we didn't really have much of a future necessarily. It was just nice to meet each other. It was nice to meet each other and be like, yeah, I got you. And then she's like, yeah, you know. And that person lived like in Kansas City, and so that's not, you know, that's tough. And the other person, the one that was wife material, one of the deal breakers was basically because she lived in Arizona, and that's just too far. You know, it's just I figured that out. I'm so thankful for my experiences, whether they've been good or bad or rough or whatever, on mutual dating and on dating apps, because you know, I learned the hard way about distance, about how far is too far. And the other thing is, well, it's a double-sided thing, because depending on how much you like the person and how much a future you see with them and how strong the spirit is between the two of you, feeling like, okay, like, we could try this, we could try this. Depending, right, like, depending on all of that, that kind of helps you determine and depend on the relationship. Like I matched with someone on mutual, and I felt like she was cool, but I didn't feel that attracted to her. And she lived in Colorado, so that's far away. And I was just like, I didn't know how to tell her that you don't want to tell someone you're not that attracted to them, because like that's kind of hard. That can hurt their feelings, you know. And so what I did say was, and it was true too. It was true. I just said what I needed to say without saying that I wasn't attracted to her, and said that, you know, I'm not really, the distance. It's hard. It's hard to imagine things working because of how far apart we are, and it was hard to envision it working. Not just because of that, for other reasons too. But you don't need to tell people that sometimes. You don't need to tell people, I'm not attracted to you, right? You don't need to tell people that. Like, there's no reason to hurt people's feelings. Like, I guess in some situations you might have to be, I guess in some certain situations you might have to say the thing, I guess, but I think you don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to most of the time. You don't have to go there and tell people like I don't like you, or like I don't know. It's just, I guess if they're like pursuing you, stalking you, or whatever, I don't know. Those are all bad situations, right? So that's how that goes, you know. But it was a really, really great conference. I talked to a lot of people, not just potential love interests or potential crushes, you know, but I learned a lot. I got to know a lot about certain people, and there was a speed dating session on Saturday night at the gala event. They had a really big gala event, which had like a dance, and everyone's supposed to dress fancy and dance and everything. The speed dating thing was really cool, and it was very eye-opening, and it was very, it told me a lot about what the spirit was already telling me. Like, looks can be deceiving. Like the things that your eyes can deceive you. Like, you can see things, but what's the spirit telling you, right? So, yeah, what's the spirit telling you? That's what it said. That's what's most important. So, all the guys moved around, and all the girls were at stations at little tables. And for our age group, it was all done by age group. So, you had 2 minutes to sit in front of a girl and talk to her, and you guys could talk. And then after 2 minutes, you had to get up and you had to move. And that was that. It was over. And if you didn't move, you got compelled to move, because that's the name of the game. It's not sit around and like ruin the whole flow of things, right? So it was really cool. And there was one girl that, how do I say this? I guess I was attracted to her. I gotta go because I gotta get you breakfast. But yeah, I guess I was attracted to her. I'm gonna pause. I'll pause. Okay, I just got my breakfast and stuff, and I don't even remember what I was saying about, like, where I was at. But oh yeah, the speed dating. So it was really good. It was revealing and stuff. Yeah, it was good. But yeah, I just had a really good time, and I really liked the girl. Yeah, I really liked the girl I talked to at the end, and it just kind of happened. Like, again, I saw her on Friday, and I said hi to her, and when it caught her off guard a little bit, and she was like pleasantly caught off guard, and because I knew her name and stuff and talked to her, and I had seen her throughout the conference, and she always looked like a little social butterfly, just kind of like, but doing her own thing, like at her own speed, like not like, you know, I guess like the popular girl who like floats around and talks to everybody and who's always in the middle or the center. Not like that necessarily. Like, she just does her own thing. She just goes at her own speed. And I'm like, that's really cool. And so I had seen her through the conference, and I did see her on Sunday morning. And it was kind of sad just for a second, because I saw her and she looked kind of like, I wanted to go over there and tell her something and say something to her. and talk to her, but I didn't know how. And I was so confused because, like, well, not so confused, but I was, you know, when we were all getting set at, like, it was like at church, and we had church in the big auditorium at the visitor center of the temple. I'm getting hungry. I gotta eat this sandwich. I gotta destroy this. I gotta eat this sandwich. And so trying to find where to sit and stuff like that, and who I was gonna sit with, right? And at first I didn't sit with a girl who was wife material, and then she said hi to me, and she's like, I could tell she wasn't like yearning for me or like reaching for me. She was just kind of there, you know, which is like so awesome. And like that's how I want to be. Another friend was telling me about how it's a fine line between being pushy and being disinterested, or being not interested enough, you know? Like, so you don't want to be too pushy, you know? So I did decide to go back and sit with her, the wife material girl, and it was great. It was great, and it was, I could have felt more comfortable sitting somewhere else, but it was good. You know what I mean? It was good. I was in good company. It was good. It was very wholesome. You know, very wholesome. And so anyway, this girl that I like, that I'm talking to or planning to talk to, am talking to, I saw her yesterday there, and I wish I could have sat with her, but it's all good. It all worked out, and I'm sure that she got exactly what she needed, and she got a really awesome impression from the talks on Sunday. It's a loud log truck, really loud. And I got some really awesome impressions too, so that was really cool, you know? It was really cool. Trying to get in here on this other side of the highway. But so all's well. It all worked out, and I'm really excited. It's like I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful for the whole experience, and I'm so thankful for the way it ended, because I couldn't have asked for a better ending. Honestly, I couldn't have asked for a better ending. It was so good. It didn't feel bad. It felt good. You know how it is when things how things end and you're sad? You're like, oh my gosh, like, I don't want this to end. Oh, trust me, I felt that. But you know what? I felt more above that. It was, wow, I actually met someone. And, you know, that's amazing. Like, regardless of where it goes, it's like, that's amazing. I met someone that I like, and we had an awesome time, and we talked, and we had fun, and we, like, played things by ear, and we, like, did things, like, we laughed, and we laughed at people in a nice way, but we laughed at situations, and then we sat together in church that evening, and we had really, really awesome moments, just really, really cool moments, you know, really cool moments, and, yeah, it wasn't like it wasn't too heavy or whatever, but I said some really nice things to her, and she said some really nice things to me back, and it was really, really cool. And I like her. I like her a lot, but I'm not trying to, like, you know, I'm trying not to be too crazy. So you know, that's the whole point right there. That's the whole balance. You gotta just not be too crazy, right? But I did talk about some potential. I just kind of put it out there, like a couple of potential future things to do together. Like, hey, you know. And I was talking to one of our friends, me and her, one of our friends, and she came over. Barbara came over when she was done. She was standing nearby, and I just love that. I love standing there talking to someone, and she's there standing talking to someone else, and like we're in a vicinity, and like, when she's done, she's going to come over here, or when I'm done, I'm going to go over there. I'm kind of keeping an eye on her. And it was just really cool. So she came over and was like in our conversation, and like we were just telling her, like, yeah, so Salt Lake Temple rededication 2027, huh? And then she's like, yeah, and like basically saying, like, I was basically saying, like, yeah, you know, like, we should definitely go to that if we can, you know, we should definitely do that, right? And she's like, yeah, definitely. Yeah, we should do that. Yeah. But like, and there's the mystery. There's a mystery to that. So it's a little bit mysterious. And then, as we were walking back to our cars, basically, which were parked in the temple parking lot, which was super cool. We were walking back to the temple, and I was telling her about the Festival of Lights there at the DC temple every Christmas time, and how wonderful it is and everything, and how amazing it is. And I put it out there to her, like saying, yeah, like you should definitely come here. Like you think you could come here for that, right? And she's like, oh yeah, definitely, yeah. I'll be back. You're like, yeah. And I was like, yes. So it's like you get a little yes. You get a yes in a way, So it was just really, really cool, But yeah, it was really, really great. I'm not trying to read too much into it or put too much into it, but a lot of good things going on. A lot of good experiences with her, for sure. So really looking forward to the future, But yeah, 10 out of 10. No, I give it a 12. I give that conference a 12 out of 10. You know what? I'm going to go 13. I'm going to say 13 because of how hard everyone worked. 13 out of 10. Maybe 12, 13. 12.5 out of 10. It was amazing. It was really amazing. The organizers put so much into it. I got a fender bender, like the back of my car is like busted up, and I don't even care. Like, that's how good of a time it was. Like, so many great things happened. It's just such an amazing time. So if you're single and you're a member of the church, go to single events, go to singles conferences, do it. And I applaud you so much, and thank you so much if you live far away and you have to fly or you have to drive a long way. I was only an hour and a half away, so I had it made. But Barbara had to fly from like North Carolina, so but and others drove from Canada, Toronto, Canada area. Some came from Fresno, California. Some came from Temecula, California. Some people came from freaking Dubai, right? Like, it was insane. It was amazing. Like, there's so many cool people there. But go. Just go. When it comes, don't question it. Don't ask yourself, should you go? You should go. Okay? So anyway, that's my singles conference wrap-up video.